Good evening, guys. Today is the 25th Monday of September. All three markets actually did okay. I was actually surprised. They actually did very, very well compared to my expectations. NASDAQ first, up 60 points, almost about 4/10 of 1%. The S&P 500, up about 4/10 of 1% as well, 17 points. And the Dow Jones up 43 points or 1/10 of 1%. So compared to where we expected things to be, I thought that'll actually be a down market today, continuation of the downtrend from Thursday and Friday. It actually turned out pretty good. So let's go through one of the stocks that came up to my scanner and go through the 5-step process. And that was Williams Sonoma. The reason why it came up is because a bull flag pattern merged and actually did one of those best gainers of the day, up about 11%, close to 12% on the day. So let's go through the analysis and see what we get. Start off always with the fundamentals. Why is it that the company is doing well, or maybe why is it the stock is doing well specifically? So I usually start at the very high level from an annual revenue and growth standpoint. Revenue seems to have been grown in the single digits for most parts, jumped up in 2020, which was pretty good, jumped up even more in 2021. Oh, wow, that was pretty good. And then has slowed down dramatically in 2022. So it went down in terms of growth from 20% down to 5%, and the trailing 12 months actually doesn't look very good. There's profitable company, obviously, almost $1 billion in pre-tax income. So from a operating income and free tax income, or pre-tax income, if you will, they're nearly about 40%, I would say 30%. Not bad margins. Net margins, net income is about $1 billion on 8, it's about 16%, I would say, a little less than 60% actually. Somewhere in 11 to 12%. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Let's look at it from a quarterly. Oh, that's not good. They've been growing at nearly 10% the last year and then slowed down growth from the beginning of the year to negative growth. So compared to the comparables, this is even slower. So even though they actually grew dramatically 2020, 2021, 2022, they slowed down growth. And 2023, they're slowing down even more. Look at 2023. It's been consistently slow growth. So this is interesting. I wonder why the stock is doing so well. Look at the balance sheet really quickly. Most retail companies, you want to see if they are essentially having a lot of debt. This doesn't seem like a lot of debt problem for this company. Cash flow also seems okay. 2 billion debt, about 5 billion, close to 4.5 billion, sorry, in cash and assets. So that's not too bad. Valuations may be the reason why their stock is doing well. Yeah, so for a company doing about $1 billion or so in net income and growing the net income by about 7%, they're only valued at 10 PE. For retail companies, if you want to be able to code comparables, someone like a Walmart, for example, if you want to check that really quick, let's just do a quick check on Walmart. See, they're 31 price earnings, but they're actually growing very quickly. So Williams Sonoma is actually, the big challenge seems to be that because of their growth being stalled, their PE is very attractive right now. And if they do some things that are good, then you would imagine that they would probably do very well. So let's start drawing some initial trend lines, try and get a sense. The stock has done very well except for 2008. So this is going to the highest time frame right now. This is the monthly chart, and I'm looking at all on the trading view. So it seems like they've grown very, very well from the bottom all the way to the top. And I'm going to pick another high and see where that goes. So you know that they've been growing pretty well overall. Stock has been doing well. It's taken a little bit of a break relative to the top at October 21. So that's one thing you want to watch for. I'm going to draw some highs and lows in terms of ranges to try and get a better sense. So you can see very quickly, this was a 1, stage 2, then stage 4 decline, stage 1 again, stage 4 dramatic decline, stage 2, stage 4, consolidation more than anything else. This I would call a consolidation zone, just to give you a sense. This is either stage 1 or stage 4. Sorry, stage 3. So it has been consolidating. And since then, again, it's been in this consolidation pattern more than anything else. So it's in a consolidation zone. Keep that in mind. At the highest level, it's still consolidating, even though it might have gone up in the last few weeks. Let's look at the weekly chart now, timing down. Weekly chart, yeah, it has been consolidating quite a bit. over the last few months, I would say. So I'm going to look at this. Actually, if you look at it, it's been consolidating for quite a while. Overall, it's been in the zone between the $100 range and the $200 range. That's a pretty high range. I'm going to bring down the resistance a little bit more down to the 179 range and bring up the support down to the 110. Actually, no, it's actually bounced a couple of times even off of, I wouldn't be surprised if you leave it in the 118 range, but even a little bit higher. Maybe recent bounces on the weekly seem to be even in the 124 range. So let's keep that at 124, at least on the weekly. No big patterns on the weekly. Usually you want to look for things. Let's draw some lines as well, even the weekly. So this seems to be, it's in a range. So this is one, and I'm going to pick up another one, even this one, see where that heads up. Yeah, it's actually consolidating into a nice little pattern, tight pattern, for it to go up even higher. So if it breaks this pattern, meaning if it goes past 155, which has already had started today, go up above that zone, and 158, if it goes up above 158.72, you know that it's actually back into a stage 2. So this is stage 1, consolidating, stage 2, uptrend. Stage 3, you can see typically is something like this, and then stage 4 is decline. So it's actually in a nice pattern, wedging itself all the way in. So let's get a little bit more of a daily view. So going from the weekly chart, what is the weekly chart? The monthly chart tells us it is in a consolidation zone, 100 to 200. It's been going in that for, let's see, close to about, this would be July 15, all the way up to November 19. And then this is November 2020, all the way up till now. So it's been in a consolidation zone for nearly about 6 months within that zone. So let's go to the daily chart, and then it's consolidating its time. So there, now you see on the weekly chart, on the day of the earnings, which was announced, let's see, 23rd of August, so roughly about a month ago, 23rd of August, earnings announced. They had a beautiful green candle, and then after the green candle, we've had a nice little tight flag pattern. This is called a bull flag. Green, nice candle after earnings, and then price action that tends to move like a flag pattern, moves up a little bit, consolidates down a little bit, and then it just immediately sets itself for a nice peg. So this is a power earnings gap, does a nice flag pattern, and then moves all the way up. This was unusual. Still very surprised to see a 12% price movement on a stock that is usually not one that tends to have a lot of moves up, but actually there are a lot of big, large green candles. Look at this one in 23 June. That was one large candle. It moved from the 116 to the 123 zone. So that's a $7 move, 5% move, 5% or less move. And then next couple of days is moved up 10%. So this is unusual, but not very, very unusual for stock like this. Even during earnings, it moved up from the 130 zone to the 142 zone. So $10 move on a $130 stock. So this tells me it is going out of a zone. So it's still on the daily chart, it's still got a lot of headroom to move up. So I'm going to adjust a little bit down below where, so it's actually broken through this resistance as well on a long-term resistance. This is the 154 zone. Might still come back here, but this is a very good resistance zone that broke through today. So if this was not the resistance zone, then the next one might be a little bit higher. See that? This is another resistance zone at the 157 range. But realistically, I think this has got room all the way up until even in the 160 range. So if it does break through, so what you want to look for is another flag pattern developing here. Just to show you what that would look like, this is what that would look like. This would be kind of a flag pattern that it develops somewhere over here, goes down within the drops that I've drawn, this top end of the line. So it moves somewhere in that zone and then does a bump up again, or it might just continue to do a bump up to 167. Either way, this is the magnet. The 167 range is the magnet for this stock right now if it continues. So you want to watch for it to either go down like this and go up, or just continue its way up. Both of those are possible. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Look at the RSI. It's actually great. So if you did, please subscribe to the channel.